amigos, bienvenidos a Singing Señorita. This is week 3 of the extracurricular activities series. So I'm letting you know exactly what I do in the full chapter talking about what students would do after school. So just as a recap, week 1 was the very first part of the vocabulary that gave the vocabulary for the actual extracurricular activities. And then we talked about answering personal questions. Week 2 was where we went over the verbs that have to do with extracurricular activities. And then we learned 2 grammar topics. We started out with making comparisons with tanto como and tan como. And then we did cuánto tiempo hace. So this week is week 3. We are starting out with going over Saber versus Conocer. And I can pop up a little example of that. I provide my students with a notes page as I'm going through the PowerPoint. They take notes and fill in important words and details. And it also comes with extra practice. So we actually practice together several times before they get finished with the notes portion. And then right after that, Saber versus Conocer is not quite as difficult as some of the other grammar topics. So I go straight into a Google Forms worksheet with independent work where they're figuring out whether to use Saber or Conocer and giving me the correct conjugation. So that is day 1 of week 3. On day 2 of week 3, we are practicing a little bit of vocab using my puzzle. So I cut these up and put them in envelopes, and students have to put them together matching the Spanish and the English of their vocabulary. And then that's usually a little competition. And then we jump into our speaking quiz. So with my speaking quizzes, my students come to my desk and talk directly to me. So earlier, students had gotten a label page which has the exact vocabulary that I'm going to be using for the speaking quiz. It's what they worked on all of the second week, is just the verbs that go with extracurricular activities. So on the day of the quiz, I'll have those same pictures, just without the label, cut up and put it in a basket. They have to draw out 3, and I ask them questions that are 2 questions because that's what we've been practicing more than anything else in this chapter. And they have to answer those 3 questions based on the picture that they drew out. So not only do they have to know the verb, they have to know how to answer questions. For example, if they drew out, let me not use that one, ganar. I might ask them, ¿te gusta ganar? Or ¿prefieres ganar o perder? It's just any 2 questions that we've practiced. I might, if they get tocar el piano, then I might say, ¿tocas el piano? ¿Te gusta tocar el piano? ¿Prefieres tocar el piano o la guitarra? It just anything based on what words that they have gotten. So they know that it's going to be a variety of questions, but it's basically going to stick to either a direct 2 questions, making the verb in the 2 question, or a te gusta, or a prefieres question. So they know what is coming up. And also, I forgot to mention, we might play before it starts a game of Mata Moscas. So I just project the same pictures that they're going to see on their speaking quiz, and then I put them up on the wall. I give each group a fly swatter, and they have to fly swat the right word when I say it in Spanish. So I might say jugar videojuegos, and bam, whichever student hits that first gets a point for their team. So I always give my students something else to do because I'm pulling them back one by one, and I have 30-something other students that are in my class waiting to take their quiz. So what I'm giving them this time is the review for the chapter test over extracurricular activities. So they can be working on that. It usually takes me 2 days to do the speaking quiz. So they'll have 2 days to complete that. So speaking quiz is Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, I take up that page. Actually, I come by and just check it, and then we'll go play a game if we have time over the information in the review. And then Friday is going to be the test over the chapter, which will cover extracurricular activities, both sets of vocab, making comparisons with tanto como and tan como, the cuánto tiempo hace, the saber versus conocer, and then there will be a section about answering questions. And that is the end of our unit over extracurricular activities. I hope in this series you found some ideas that will help you. As always, I'm leaving links in the descriptions for all of the things that I've gone over that I'm using in my own class, and even the links if I play an online game with them, I'll leave those links also. So I hope that you are having a fabulous week, and I will see you next time. Adios.